So, how you doing?
Always for that.
There we go. So you can use this one. It's also
Oh, okay.
so we're all good to go. Yeah, I'll put it on. Okay. Okay, do that. You want me to record this?
Sure, that'd be great.
So I'll record it on my computer.
Sure, perfect.
Oh, everyone is other. You're good.
So go ahead and start.
Go ahead.
Good. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to like talk or anything, like introduce anything, just
No
play.
idea.
Okay. Gotcha.
I can just detect.
Still not like completely certain if I'm supposed to be talking or not, but just wanted to say my name is Shaquim Muldrow, and I'm really excited to be here playing music for y'all. That last one was Body and Soul. Can't remember exactly who that's by, but I know Coltrane has a version of it that I love, and that's usually the version I try to do. So, happy Coltrane. You couldn't hear me? I'm sorry. I'm Shaquim Muldrow. That last song that I did was Body and Soul. That rendition was kind of inspired by John Coltrane. So, John Coltrane. More, sure.
All right, thank you, everyone. Thanks for coming tonight. My name is Patrick Mucklow. I'm the Executive Director of the Museum of Durham History, and it seems oddly familiar, but yet a little bit strange to be talking to you all in person. And so I can't tell you how excited we are for today to reopen and to have you all here. We wanted to make this a pretty intimate gathering. And so we're just delighted to see so many familiar faces and be able to talk to you all. I can't say enough about everyone who's made today happen, starting first of all with Brand Fortner, who is making sure this is all live streaming so people at home can see this. All of our volunteers and staff and our volunteer board who have been so supportive over the last year in making sure that we have been able to reopen our doors, and especially to my colleague Jeanette Schaefer, who has made sure that exhibits and programs have still been running, and it's a joy to have a team like this. And also, what else keeps our doors reopening is the support and the generosity of everyone in the community. And so we never want that to stop, of course. And so we definitely have appreciated all of the financial support and the kind words that we've received while we were closed, and we're looking forward to getting back in business. Tonight we have a couple of very special guests, Ms. Vera Whisenton and Dan Jewell, who will be making remarks here in a minute. I'm very excited to hear what they have to say about this exhibit, from Tobacco Market to Innovation Hub, Durham Central Park neighborhood. Both of them are intimately familiar with this neighborhood and how it transitioned into what it is today. And so it's an honor to have them here. We have a raffle that's going on all weekend, so I encourage visitors to the museum to enter into the raffle. And all of the businesses down in the Central Park neighborhood who have suffered so much financial hardship over the last year, but still gave to the raffle. And so I want to thank Durham Distillery, Dane's Chicken and Waffle, Blue Note Grill, the Artisan Market, Urban Axes for giving to the raffle. And it really is a show of goodwill for the community. This exhibit is made possible by the B. Murray Fund. And I would like to specifically acknowledge Scott Murray and the Murray family for making this possible. They had an idea to make this very inclusive exhibit about their family and Durham Brazing and Welding, but all the surrounding businesses and the people that made that neighborhood so special. I was reading the exhibit in its early drafts, and I noticed, one of the first things I noticed, that at the Durham Athletic Park, there were protests in 1957 to integrate the stands. 1957 was also the same year that the Royal Ice Cream protests happened here in Durham. And it just shows that it's a good reminder that segregation may have seemed like it was so long ago, but it wasn't. It was in many people's lifetimes currently, and how difficult it would have been to not be a white male business owner in the Durham Central Park area, or in Durham, or in the United States. And so I would really encourage folks to keep that in mind when they're going through this exhibit. That's pretty much everything I have to say. I know not everyone is here to hear me go on and on. So I would like to turn it over to Dan Jewell, and so he can talk about Central Park and how his recollections and how it came to be. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick, and thank you, everybody. It's great to be here with a bunch of friends I've known for a long time, and friends I've known but have not seen for a few years and reconnected with. So thank you. A little closer to the mic. Okay, yes, thank you. I have a problem doing that. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Dan Jewell. I'm actually a landscape architect in private practice. I have an office downtown, 111 West Main Street, which actually happens to be the oldest building within the Durham Loop, 1892, and we're glad to be co-owners of that building. And I live, like several of you do, about 3 blocks that way in Trinity Park on Gloria Avenue, specifically in a 1910s house. So this is it's hard for me to think of myself as being part of the history of this neighborhood because. You know, I guess that's as much denial as anything but I think about it now, this adventure specifically with Durham Central Park goes back 26 years to 1995 when it all started. Like many of you, My memories of the neighborhood go back to actually when I moved here in the mid '80s. And the only reason that we would come to this part of Durham was to go see the Bulls play, the old Durham Athletic Park. By that time, the neighborhood had sort of transitioned from what it had been in its heyday of the tobacco auction houses, and Vera can talk about that a little bit, with all the hustle and bustle and the money and the businesses that were trying to get the farmers to spend money at their places, so they were as close to the auction houses as they can be. But by the 80s and 90s, it was much quieter. There were lots of parking lots. The buildings still had people in them, but very few people. They were industrial buildings. There were repair operations and things of that nature. So during the day, there really wasn't much activity on the street at all. And one of the defining things of the neighborhood was the big empty weed tree-filled lot next to the Liberty Warehouse, which had previously been the Mangum No. 2 warehouse. So Liberty, by the late 80s and early 90s, was the last of the many tobacco auction houses which had formerly been in this neighborhood. So during the day it was quiet, but on summer nights when the Bulls were at home, thousands of people would pour into that part of town and create a vibe and an activity and that sort of thing. And it was an opportunity for us in Durham to get together. It was also an opportunity for us in Durham when our friends from Chapel Hill or Raleigh or Cary would come just to go to the ballpark and get out of town as quickly as we can, tell them, well, maybe if you don't get it in Durham, we don't really need you anyway. But we need that t-shirt. There is a t-shirt like that already. But sort of the last straw of that was in 94-ish or so, when the new Durham Bulls Athletic Park was built on the other side of downtown next to American Tobacco. And people stopped coming to this place at night. So it became very quiet. There was nobody here in the evening. And in the early 90s, when Alan Wilcox, his longtime friend, Kurt Eshelman, who you've both seen mentioned, provided some of the exhibits in there, and Bill Kalkoff, who was the newly appointed CEO of Downtown Durham, Inc., they were trying to figure out how maybe they could bring a little bit of that vitality back to that part of Durham. In 1995, there still wasn't a lot going on downtown, but there was nothing going on other than the daytime activity in the Central Park neighborhood of Durham. So they pooled their resources, and they brought several dozen of the best architects and landscape architects and planners and city officials together in 95. They worked on a vision for what that neighborhood might look like, to bring some vitality and activity back to it, to bring it back to at least some semblance of what it had been back in the heyday of the 30s, 40s, and 50s. And out of that came three different plans, three different schemes for what would happen in that 10 or 15 block area. So a couple months later, several of you were there. We all got together right over here across the street at the Durham Arts Council, about 100 people. We said, where do we go from here? And what we quickly figured out was there was one common element among all of the three schemes. And that common element was some type of public open space, some type of green space. So we decided right then and there to borrow another Kevin Costner baseball movie analogy. For those of you who, of course, saw Bull Durham and maybe were in there, from Field of Dreams, if we build it, they will come. So we thought that the best way to kickstart that was to build a park. And once it was done, that people would start being interested in making a reinvestment in that part of Durham and bringing people back in at night, alternate the day, and get some vitality going. So in 1996, we were bold enough to identify 5 acres of property, including the Whisenton family property, which was part of that. There was a Parks and Rec bond referendum proposed for Durham, and thanks to all of you who voted for it, it passed. And we had $1 million to acquire 5 acres in Durham Central Park, and we were ready to go. So by 1998, we had pulled all that land together. And again, I'll put that in perspective. We bought 5 acres for $1 million. The last transaction around Durham Central Park was $6 million for an acre, and it's going even more than that. So that shows you how the investment has paid off over time. So out of that, we started out with a lot of blood, sweat, and dirt under our fingernails. I mean, literally, I think we can count tens of thousands of hours of volunteer labor that's gone into building trails, pulling weeds, cutting down trees, literally doing the landscaping for the pavilion where the farmers market is, through assistance from the city to build the Greenway Trail and the beautiful bridge we have over the creek that runs through the property. Grants that we were able to see from the state and the county and the federal government to build the pavilion where the farmers market meets every Saturday morning and Wednesday afternoon, which is a great egalitarian coming together of everybody in Durham, as we all know. We were able to get it rolling and get it started. And what we discovered was we didn't have to build all of it and they would come. You know, it was soon after we had some of our early work days and just started clearing brush and knocking a few buildings down and digging up some asphalt parking and planting some grass, that we saw property starting changing hands, people making strategic investments around the park. And then finally, about 7 or 8 years ago, we started seeing the first new buildings coming up. First with the Trinity Lofts up at Trinity and Washington Street. Then the Central Park Co-housing community built their new facility over next to the Center for Senior Life. And since then, we've had the Brannan and Liberty Apartments and Foster at the Park and many projects in the works that you know of and maybe don't even know of. But sadly, one of the losses of that was in 2013. There was a very heavy rainstorm and a portion of the roof of the Liberty Warehouse caved in. It had changed hands prior to that. I think if you had spoke to our old friend and board member, Walker Stone, who took care of that building for years and years, literally by going up on the roof with a bucket of tar and a brush to keep it from, the new owners did not do that. So it caved in. And I think that made an expedient, made it easy to come up with an expedient decision to tear that building down and put something in its place. So that was the last of the tobacco auction houses left in Durham, where once there were 8 or 10, there were now none left. So it's important that we preserve the memory of things like that and exhibits like you all do. So today, though, we are starting to see more and more people in this neighborhood during the day and at night, all hours. Believe it or not, I have spent the night in Central Park after the iron pour to just make sure nobody goes up and touches those hot forges and burns themselves. And you'd be surprised how many people are out at 2 or 3 in the morning going back to their apartments, and it's bustling once again. The park is not done yet. We still have more to go, but what's really special, I think, is through the vision of Alan and Kurt and Bill, we were able to preserve 5 acres of open space in an area where there was plenty of open space just 15 or 20 years ago. But as things build up around it, it becomes more and more and more special. And I think as much as anything, the reason it's special, it's a place where anybody in Durham, no matter who you are, where you come from, what your socioeconomic makeup is, just leave your pretenses and prejudices at home, come to the park and mix with other people, because I think that's the Durham that we all want, and that's the Durham that we have. So thank all of you for being part of this, for doing what you do, being part of the exhibit. And I hope you all come and visit the farmers market tomorrow morning. it's open for business. So thank you.
Good afternoon or good evening, everybody. I want to thank you guys for inviting me to. Okay. I want to thank you guys for inviting me to share some memories with you. I prepared a text, but most of what I have is already stated with Peyton Smith, so I'm going to dish that. I'm not going to use that. And I'll just speak to you about how my husband and I were instrumental in becoming a part of Durham Central Park. Back in the day when we were living in Washington, in the Washington, D.C. area, we would come down to visit, and we knew this land was there, and we would drive over there and look at it, and we would dream about some of the things we could possibly do with this big parcel of land. And when we would drive over there, we would see roosters coming off the land, greeting us. It was just that desolate down here, deserted. It was pretty bad. And lo and behold, in I guess around 1990, as Dan said, around 1996, 97, that we started being courted by Bill Karkoff to purchase the land. We weren't happy about it. We were very reluctant to do it, but we decided to do it, and I'm glad we did, because it's been a pleasure to be a part of Durham Central Park. When we retired, we established a residence here in the Bullington warehouse, which is, of course, probably the last of the tobacco warehouses. And so we have a connection, still have a connection. And I joined the Durham Central Park board in 2010. And that's been fun, and all of my friends are here. And over the years, we've done a lot of, I've enjoyed doing a lot of fundraising for Durham Central Park. It's been great. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about Peyton Smith that may not be in the museum. That land was acquired by him in 1923. And he died in 1928. So it passed on to my husband, my mother-in-law, and her sister. And we subsequently put 2 benches in Durham Central Park as a tribute to them. They were really special ladies. And that was maybe around 2008, I think we did that, or 9, something like that. And that was a special treat for us to do that for the park. Oh, Margaret Whisenton was my mother-in-law. She was a librarian at Durham Public Library. And her sister was Lavinia Parker. She was a school teacher, and she was also the organist for White Rock Baptist Church. And I have to also say that Peyton Smith was married to the granddaughter of Margaret Fawcett, who was the founder of White Rock Baptist Church. And I think you recently had an exhibit that included her. I think I saw it online. It's been a real pleasure to become a part of Durham, and my family and I, my children and grandchildren, we all come here still, even though I live in Maryland too. But we still come here because we have so many wonderful friends. They are just wonderful. I just love being here. So thank you all for coming out tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Whisenton. I just want to say Thanks again to everyone. We'll keep live streaming on Facebook, and for as long as we're all here hanging out, please have a beverage, enjoy the exhibit, and look forward to talking to each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.